Today on Guns and Liberty, we will be going over the 338 ARC by Faxon Firearms. It is a 12.5-inch barrel with a Precision Firearms 338 suppressor on it. Of course, an EOTech on top. It does have an FRT in it, but it is Pride Month, and my range has banned any trigger mods, so we'll see if we even get into that.
PMAG is here to remind you the ATF is gay!
Historically, this caliber has had issues feeding. Hopefully, Faxon has figured that one out, and so far, we will see. So to start things off, we're gonna zero it at 50 and then get a grouping at 50, and then 100, and then play around at 200 as well. So as you can see, at 50 was decent. It is a single stage trigger, it's not a two-stage trigger, so it just took a little getting used to. But yeah, we'll get into the 100-yard grouping now. The 100-yard grouping was far better than the 50-round grouping. Pretty close to MOA, a little off. Again, single stage trigger, not really the best shooter in the world either, but pretty good overall. So at 200, I'm kind of all over the place. You have to hold 22 to 24 inches above the target. I did it on paper. I didn't hit a plate, I guess, at 200 yards, but I'll show you the grouping, I guess, here. But most of it was just plinking with the steel at 200 yards. And boy, does this bullet hit hard. With this caliber, you probably are not going to try to shoot as fast as you can just because the price is up there. But we're going to do 2 or 3 bill drills and see where the time is. It didn't even work. I guess it's too quiet to pick up the noise. The time was here though. Well. You saw a few jamming issues there. I think that's more on me than it is the gun. I didn't lube the gun at all, and it ran flawlessly for like 60 to 80 rounds. Got my first jam a little bit over there, but after I lubed it up, I didn't really have an issue except for putting it into FRT. It will not feed that fast with the FRT as it should. It does have an H3 buffer in it, but maybe with a 338 and not a 5.56, it needs something different or a heavier buffer. I'm not entirely sure. The bullet, when it hits that metal, boy does it slap. I mean, I was hitting metal at 25 and 50 feet and it was coming back and slapping the building. I don't know if you can hear it in the video, but this is not one of those rounds you really want to mess around with up close within 50 yards probably, because it does come back pretty freaking fast. So now that the serious part is out of the way, we're going to just have fun and plink around on the steel. So let's nerd out a little bit and get into the ballistics. I'll show the graph of ballistics here, provided by a different source, not me. I used AI to find out where I need to hold at different ranges. Obviously 50 I zeroed it, 100 where do I hold it? About 3 inches higher. At 200, 22 to 24 inches higher. These are all the feet per seconds for 300 blackout, 338 arc, and 8.6 blackout. Different grains and what they can do, and I'll show you the ballistics reporting done by Micah Mayfield right now. I did DM him about it and ask if I could use this footage, and he did say yes, so enjoy.
That we're going to be testing off of, but we're going to start with the 8.6 Gorilla ammo, solid copper expanders. I've been told that ballistics gel 8.6 doesn't do too good. You kind of need fluid. It might not expand the way it should, but we're going to find out for ourselves. Ready, Dan?
Yep.
Going on. I shot right over it.
Yep.
Wait. Yeah, so I didn't shoot right over it. I shot right through it and nothing happened. It didn't expand. Next up, 338 arc, sub X into gel. This is my first time doing this. Let's see. Okay, so you can see we have the little red tip and a giant wound cavity. So as you can see, we have a larger wound cavity. That's because the round actually expanded. You can see little bits of pieces of copper thrown around in here as it was twisting through. Now these barrels are 1-in-8 twist, so you don't quite get the rotational energy that you get out of 8.6, which I wish we could have seen on ballistics gel. Okay. Discrete ballistics, expanders, like I said, those Gorillas just super underwhelming, so we'll see how these Chads do. Yeah, that sounded way nastier than the Gorilla ammo. It actually made a thump Oh, yeah. Woo! That is wicked. Look at that death spiral. Dude, look at that death spiral.
Piece of art, dude.
That is, I could put that in a painting, man. I mean, what's cool is there's a hole there, a hole there. The jacket kind of, look at that, dude. Just ripped out right off the rip. Started expanding, and you can see little pieces getting thrown in here. That is an excellent showing. Wow, that's awesome. I like to see that. Discrete ballistics, 2 gel blocks. Bruh. Look at how perfectly that expanded. Do you see that? That is a nasty round. We'll get a close-up of the camera, but I mean, it looks like a fish hook on just all sides. It's just peeled back. Look, clearly the discrete ballistics performs in gel. The Gorilla ammo did not. I'm gonna go ahead and say, like, ballistically, should we go get 338 arc and see if we can even make it into the second gel block? All right, 338 arc, 2 gel blocks. All right, so now we get to see them side by side, right next to each other. So that right there, that tiny, tiny little one. Wait, actually the 338 arc didn't even start performing until we made it barely into the second projectile. Like, it started to expand right about at the end, whereas the 8.6 expanded and just spun a crazy death spiral all the way through. Ballistically, I mean, like, look, dude, if you're trying to kill something large, like Cape Buffalo or something crazy, I mean, I would take the 8.6, like, period. It's just, that's a nasty wound cavity. And it really could also be that this was Hornady Sub-X versus discrete ballistics. Really awesome round. I mean, I don't know if it's super fair because we didn't compare Sub-X to Sub-X. There is not really any Sub-X for 8.6, so I kind of just went with, you know, some kind of subsonic expanding round. So it could just be hats off to discrete ballistics, but I'm going to go ahead and say, I mean, we have FMJ in there. I could just send an FMJ through it as well. Should we do that? And so now we're back to the Fort Scott ammo. This is just FMJ subsonic. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest. Even FMJ subsonic outperformed ballistically. I mean, look at that. That crazy death spiral and then an immediate tumble. So no, it's not just discrete ballistics being gangster. I mean, they are gangster, but really it's just the 8.6 is a nasty round. It did better than the 338 arc. I don't know what to tell you. Ready? Okay, and now we have 190 grain. It would have been smart of me to compare, like, to get Sub-X, to compare Sub-X to Sub-X, but once again, discrete ballistics sent me these rounds out, so I'm going to use them. And honestly, I'd rather compare it to, like, one of the gnarlier rounds anyway, just to show the capability and the you know, the potential the round has. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. You have more immediate effects on the 300 blackout. You know, 338 arc really didn't open up that quickly. This opened up. You can see the jacket right there, and you know, it lost most of its ass by the time it exited, but it dumped all its energy right there and expanded and grenaded the round. I think I would just take this. It's cheaper to shoot. It feeds reliably. So all three did pretty good. This is what caused our crazy death spiral. This is the 8.6. Obviously, when this thing is rotating at 250,000 RPM and impacts you and opens up like that, it's probably gonna do some nasty things. Period. Like, that's how physics work. 300 black also did great. Expanded just like you wanted it to. Lost one of the pedals in the gel. And then we have the Sub-X. Also did good. I mean, it opened up like it should have. It pedaled and bloomed. I just think that the twist rate on that 8.6 really amplifies the violence of that round. This is just like the middle child And these are the 2 rounds the parents actually care about.
So, my thoughts on the 338 Blackout, 338 Blackout, whatever we're calling it these days. I really like it. Super fun to shoot. It's a lot more fun than a 300 Blackout and a lot more accurate and lethal at a further distance. But, that being said, the ammo is about double. It is definitely a fun range toy. Probably a truck gun, because you can go out to 200 yards fairly easily, especially on a full body target like so. Maybe not an 8-inch plate. But, the feeding issue, I don't really think was an issue because I just didn't lube the gun, as I said before. And after lubing it, I didn't have any jamming issues except for when I put it into FRT, fun trigger, 3rd position mode. Going back on it, what I probably would have changed is I just would have put a Rise Armament 2-stage trigger. I might do that when I get home and just put an iconic trigger in it. It'll probably be a lot more fun, a lot more accurate at the 50, 100, 200 plus range. At 200, I did have to hold about 2 feet above the target with no magnifier. So, like I said before, I'm not the greatest shot. And yeah, I mean, it's a really fun gun. Precision Firearms has a great suppressor. The shots with this did not get picked up by my pack timer. So the bill drill is going to be a guess based on when the first round was shot to the end. That's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Voltei, pitbull.